This is a recording from a previous event that Charlie did. Charlie was known for doing these events mostly on college campuses, but really across the country. And let me show you a little bit. So as Charlie is answering these questions, you could see his left hand right down there. Zoom in on what he's doing. You could very clearly see that it is the same gold ring that was there yesterday, and you could see him opening it and closing it. And oftentimes he switches fingers. You can see here that's the very same ring. Okay. Now, that is what you call a clasp ring or a hinge ring. There's a couple different terminologies for it. There's a couple different things to call it. But in essence, whatever it is, it opens. It is not a closed ring like this ring. This ring, the only way to get it off is going over my finger or breaking it. This one is meant to do that. Charlie had a fidget issue. And you could see it here on his ring finger. This is now post-impact. You could see it on his pinky finger. And here you could see it falling completely off of his finger. Why? Because the ring was a hinge ring. Okay? I don't think we necessarily have to talk about the ring anymore. So I'm going to move on. And when you see a human bleeding from a high impact, a high velocity impact, such as a bullet, blood does not just pour out that way. It squirts and it gets literally everywhere, especially on an exit wound. What is the spot on his shirt? Why is his chest look like something is under his shirt? Why does the t-shirt behave that way? Why does it look like in this frame it is impacting outwards from his chest? We cannot see Charlie. We can't see him. There is only one position that Charlie could have been shot from based on that exit wound. And that is from his immediate right. Don't give me this shit. What is this? Are you kidding me? By the way, I don't know how many of you have experience with bullets, but the police report on this says that Charlie was hit with a .30-06. Do you have any idea what a .30-06 does upon impact? .30-06 is one of the most devastating bullets there is. Massive, massive, massive damage on anything it hits. .30-06. Explosion type damage. After it enters, whatever it hits, it could be anything. It could be a body, it could be a deer, it could be a bear, it could be an anything. A watermelon, anything. A .30-06 goes in and explodes. You know what a .30-06 doesn't look like? And trust me, I am not implementing confirmation bias. I know the Trump assassination was fake. I know it was. This one, I don't know. But what I do know is these questions, amphitheater seating, thank you. These questions are legit questions. Forget the ring. I don't want to talk about the ring. Forget the guys with the hand signals in the back. One of those guys was Charlie's best friend. And to me, it just looked like he was adjusting his hat, honestly. It didn't look like it was anything of much. You want to talk about something else? Let's talk about why there was a private plane that took off from a local airport just, I think it was 20 minutes, 30 minutes after the shots were heard on the campus. Private plane. That is some miraculous timing. Because that is about how long it would take to get from the venue to the airport. Oh, and by the way, just might as well just throw this in there too, right? The private plane, radar failed. So we don't know where it went. But it came back to its original location with no one in it. You see what I mean? Why? So who was on the plane? Charlie? Maybe Charlie's family? Now, the billion, maybe $1 trillion question. Why? Why? If this were another fake assassination, why? Charlie Kirk had recently said in interviews and privately to people that he was worried that Israel may kill him. Benjamin Netanyahu was the first world president to tweet about the passing of Charlie Kirk. And we said we were saving Israel for last. Let me tell you right now, wars were started in the past over assassinations like this. Is it a real assassination? If it is, and Israel did it, Israel has a huge problem. I do believe that this could very well be a precursor to war with Israel. If Israel is behind the actual assassination of Charlie Kirk. Assuming that the assassination is real, Charlie is dead, he is in heaven, and we're mourning. And if that's linked to Israel, we're going to war with the new War Department. Now, if the assassination wasn't real, and it is a setup to make Charlie a martyr, do we pin it on Israel? Because we know that we're saving Israel for last, right? Are we getting pretty close to last? But the things that I presented tonight, I need more information on. And if someone could prove to me that the spot that I see on Charlie Kirk's shirt is something other than a leaking squib inside of his chest, and someone could prove to me where the shooter was, where the entry wound was, and where the exit wound was, and it lines up and it makes sense, I could only ask God's forgiveness for even doubting that this is an actual assassination. I don't have answers to those questions. Where they are saying the shooter was perched is bullshit. A bullet cannot curve, and there is absolutely no way that that was an entry wound. Because if it was, it would have blown out the back of him, and there would have been blood splattered all over the back of that tent and all over the people behind him. That is an exit wound. And if you look at the police report, a 30-06, that is not the behavior of a 30-06 traveling through a human being's neck. Something is wrong. I don't know what that something is, but something is wrong. I shudder to think that I'm reporting something such as another fake assassination attempt, and I'm wrong about it. I shudder. I sincerely hope, and I've prayed for the last 24 hours before I did this live. And I've had people encourage me, dozens of people encourage me, don't do it if you're not sure. And I got to be honest with you, I'm not sure. But I don't want to call it either way. I don't want to say it's fake. I don't want to say it's real. I don't friggin' know. I could see all of the reasons why it would be fake. I was exited. I took an exit strategy. I've went through that life. Was it a fake assassination? No. It was a deletion. But do you seriously think that all of the people you've seen die over the last 10, 15, 20 years are really dead? Because they're not. I know for a fact that some of them are not. I've spoken to some of them after the announcement of their death. This is the playbook. If the white hats, first of all, this would be a white hat operation. If this is a fake assassination attempt, this is a white hat operation. This is not something that the bad guys, the deep state, have conjured up. Charlie is absolutely not a traitor and he's on the other side and all that bullshit that I've been reading. That's bullshit. I pray that he's not dead. I pray that he was wearing squib and the rope or necklace that we saw him wearing in the photos that I presented tonight was the holder for that squib. I pray that the spot that we've seen on Charlie's shirt on his right side was a malfunction of the squib and it started leaking. I pray that the squib going off triggered a hidden, well-make-upped, maybe silicone-covered bulge in Charlie's left side near his jugular vein. And when the squib was triggered, the blood started going to where it was supposed to go, the exit area of the squib mechanism. I pray that that's true. I pray that the explosion we saw on Charlie's chest was an explosion of a device that was put on his chest, which was supposed to cause shock to his body, certainly not unconsciousness. But I do believe, I strongly hope and pray that that mechanism knocked Charlie unconscious, and that's why we saw Charlie fall in the way that he did, and why his muscles got tense in his arms. I pray that it was not a bullet traveling through his neck into his jugular vein, exiting and spilling his blood all over. I pray that's not true. I pray that that same bullet, as it was ripping through his neck, didn't paralyze him and cause his arms to stiffen the way that they did. I pray that Charlie is watching this right now. With his wife and his children, and he is out. Do we need Charlie Kirk going forward? Pretty soon we won't need any of us. It's almost over. We're almost there.